Page 10, House of the Rising Sun. And page 8, introducing you to a new time signature, 12-8. Good grief. Well, if you understand how the numbers work, it doesn't matter what the time signature is. The top number tells you how far you have to count to 12. Isn't that nice? Or there's 12 beats in a measure. And the bottom number tells you what you're counting, or what the beat is. In this case, it's an eighth note. Well, that's kind of ugly. It's not. It just means you have the same as 12 eighth notes in every measure. Well, you know, really? The idea is we have natural accents in music. You know, I've repeated it over and over and over. The first beat of a measure is the strongest natural accents. You bring out the first beat of a measure. 1, 2, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Here it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, in 12/8 time, as in 6/8 time, we generally feel this in other pulses. What they're getting at on page 8 is we're going to feel this in 4. We're going to feel it like a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's kind of important. They're not triplets. It's not triplet. It's 1, 2. These are notes. It's a mental image. Don't think of them as triplets, is what I'm saying. They have different ways of counting them. They show in there. I don't use any of those methods. I simply go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I guess they have it on the top line. On page 9, you see the counting. They have 3 ways of counting them. If you need to. Actually, I use, most part, the bottom one. It's just, I feel it in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I know there's 3 beats. 3 notes in those. Now on the bottom part on page 9 where they talk about the caravan thingy, I'll leave that to you. I don't use that kind of a method. I use a different method, and I'll talk about that when we get to the piece that uses that rhythm. Now, for House of the Rising Sun, well, we know it's in 12/8 time. We just talked about that. 1 flat. This is in the key of D minor. So make sure you go do the scale F major. That's got 1 flat. And D minor, 2 octaves up and down. You should already know the scales. And go ahead and do the arpeggios. The F major arpeggio and the D minor arpeggio. I got videos on them. Go look at them. And if you can, 2 octaves. It's, again, the tremolo exercise I'm looking for on those arpeggios. That's the important part of it. So let's cover this. Not a lot going on. You're starting here and here. A dotted half note is the same as 6 eighth notes, so there's 2 of those in a measure. Now we're going to feel this in 4. 3 beat pickup, 10, 11, 12. Well, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm too lazy to do all that counting. I'm just going to feel it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Second line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 16th notes, well, in 12/8 time, or 6/8 time, or 3/8 time, or some 8 time, a 16th note is just and. 1 and, 2 and, 3 and. So those are just 12 and, 12 and, 12 and, 12 and 1. And they've got a 3 and a 1, 5. That's good, because the A is tied. You got to hold it down when you cross over to play the C sharp. A bit my tone. C sharp. So the second line. 4. Here. Hold the A down. Rest. Lift up. Got a 2 beat rest, and then go up. Third line down at the end of the first measure, they got 4th finger. I recommend 3rd finger, and then 4th finger here. The 2-5 is fine if you want, and then if you got fat fingers, you can't do that. You're going to have to do it here, and you can do a 3 here if you. Then 5. hands tied. Now, page 11. Now we got some motion in the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hold that down as you do that. I recommend fourth finger in the left or right hand there. And the left hand, that's the chord. I use fourth finger on that, not third. Again, fourth finger on the D. I use fourth. They're telling you there. Now it's third finger in the here. In case you're wondering why is it 4? Why is it 3? Well, when the distance between them is only one note, I use 4. If it's more than one note, I use 3. So most of these are 4s until you get down to the second line on the last half of the first measure there. Here, there, that's 2 notes here, so I use 3. That's why. So fourth. That's sort of the rhythm and the fingering you work out yourself, but try and figure it out a way where you can play this melody legato, if you can, as legato as you can, with the fingers. I know the pedal will be in there, but we're not using the pedal to connect the melody. We're using the fingers for that. Dynamics and phrasing and all that, you can put that in. A lot of times you get rest. Otherwise, make sure you lift up between the phrases so we can hear them. The pedal might cover it up. It doesn't matter. You still feel the phrases, so you still lift up between the phrases, I hope. Supposed to. Speed-wise, what do you feel? This it's simple, plaintively, whatever. Well, they give you a metronome marking. 2. It's don't be in a hurry in this. See, this is a little different than other arrangements. Rest. So forth. So. Put in the speed and the slurring and all that stuff. At the end, page 11, at the bottom, you're here, there's a retardando that you can slow down. And then very soft at the end, it's just an afterthought. That is like a one note or one chord coda where they stuck on there. It's just an afterthought, yeah. Now we're going to use pedal on this for a couple of reasons. One is we want the overtones. We want to color this because it's dry. It just sits there. Now sometimes you want dry. You want it to just sit there. But we don't want this to just sit there. This is pretty. Do something with it. Well, if we add the overtones, that gives it more color, more flavor. It's going to be overlapping pedal. That means that hands or fingers do what they're doing and then the pedal happens afterward. So it overlaps the hands. At the beginning here, push the notes down first and then the pedal. I'm going to change the pedal after I play the notes in the 7th beat. And in the second line, second measure, lift it up with the hands so we get a 2 beat rest. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, rest. And they don't say to, but I suggest you pedal the last note because it's a repeated note. I'd like to connect it. I can't connect it without the pedal. So put the pedal down and you don't need to change it on the next measure because it's the same note. But put it down and pedal so you can connect it. And while I'm here, just briefly, on those 16th notes, we're pedaling through them. But it happens so quickly, we can deal with the blurriness. We don't mind it so much. So we just go ahead and put it. See, it just goes by so quick. You don't have to worry about it. If it were real slow, then we'd have to do something with that because then it blurs it and you can hear the blurriness. And so don't worry about blurring up these 16th notes. It's fine here in this piece. And that, for the most part, is the pedaling. Now, at the bottom of the page, the last measure here, Again, lift the pedal up with the hands so we get 2 beats of silence, and then go ahead and pedal that note because it's a repeated note. We want to connect it. So forth, and that for the most part is the pedaling. Pretty simple, I think. Ultimately, it's up to you on the sounds you like to. You can experiment with the pedal and see what you think with it.